kept the land down there after selling Grandma's house. He kept the land.
They sold Grandma's house. Honey, I'd have bought it for 10 years to rebuild it. They're living in it. They're living in it. This is great-grandmother's house. No, it doesn't.
No. Well, let's go say goodbye to those nice people.
So this is great-grandma Eliza McKinney's house. Those boards, those logs there are some 200-year-old oak. And this is Danny.
Yep.
And what's your last name? And Stella McKay. They are the new owners of the home, and they have remodeled it just gorgeously. He's very talented, very handy man. They've put in a new wishing well over the old well. This is the smokehouse.
We can build a cooker right over yonder.
There is?
Barbecue pit like that. Working on it today.
I'll be darned.
You can walk up to it.
Okay. Are you going to be here, Stella, for a little bit?
No, we're getting ready to take her home.
Oh, well, can I just film those steps real quick inside? Yeah. I'll be right back. The old stairwell. And we have a story to tell on these steps. The story we heard last night about Mother, Margaret Ann, and Jack coming down these stairs, playing bride and groom in grandmother's lace curtains. This is the steps here. I'm going to go get the picture of that room.
I'm going to put the light on up there.
Okay.
It might help us a little bit.
Mothers used to slide down this banister. This is a beautiful wallpaper that Mary took a sample of. This door is all boarded up. It's what was called the house, where she used to sit and do her work. They have a double fireplace in here. This is where all the kids slept, on the pallets made from the quilts. These people have done wonders with this house, just wonders. There's the front door. There's a modern exercise machine.
Here's one of the original light fixtures. Made out of iron.
Oh my. Oh my.
You can see what they
Oh,
hung
thank
with.
you. There's no wood box too.
Shh. Watch you.
Then they used to have a stove in here. What's your dog's name?
Chiwi.
Hi, Tiwi. Hi, little fella. I won't hurt you, I promise. Anything you want to tell me?
shame. I wasn't living 100 years ago. I wouldn't go through all this right now.
This is the barbecue pit.
Going to be.
It used to be the kitchen.
Oh, this used to be the kitchen. Okay. Where and the pear tree's gone. Where was the pear tree?
There was a pear tree over in that clear spot outside that gas tank.
That's where you guys used to climb, huh? Where's the pond that you took the pig trough in?
That way.
Okay.
There's a pond over yonder.
Yeah.
There's a pond down yonder. Go at the road over there. You can see it right down yonder.
That over here?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I'm moving too fast on this
There
camera.
used to be one on the other side of that barn, too. That old big dock, we used to pedal across the mud.
You remember that old boating house used to be on the other side of that barn?
Yeah.
I went up there yesterday.
Really?
Found some letters, 1912.
Really?
What was that I found? 18 what?
Yellow?
She got them in there. I found an old 47 glass car. I'm going to keep all this. 1890.
That's the smokehouse.
Make any money off of it? I don't know.
Well, I want to save the Chenault thing.
Yeah, I'm going to keep all this right here. Here's a newspaper. I found out that.
Everybody thought their car was Avon bottle. I said, no, it's not bottle. Because it has no Cincinnati Post. Hang on. You found some legal stuff yesterday.
October.
The Chenault guy was on the one thing. But behind things and then about Hitler, probably grandson for the house.
Hitler probably right here arrested in the United States somewhere. 1912. Y'all come back next year, it'll be a different place.
Out of Grandma's house, great Grandma's house. Look at that beautiful tree. Dorothy could tell me what it was, how old it was. They found an old tombstone here. Panoramic view here. It's just gorgeous, and to think that we actually belong to some of these neat pioneers. I just love it. So do my sisters, and I'm sure Pa would too, if he were here. That's the dinner bell that they used to call the field hands in with. gonna take another picture.
We'll probably be here next year. I gave you that nail that come out this
I give that other guy. Did that guy give y'all some of them nails I gave him in that can?
No.
He didn't give me nothing. And I'm the granddaughter.
Well, just come back in the truck and then you'll have one of these logs around you and
Listen, honey,
drag
if
it
I
home with
could,
you.
I would.
Hanging up, put it up in your front yard.
I would. If I could, I would.
Get the bell, Carrie Ann?
Yes, I got the bell. Oh, I'm
What's
recording.
the matter with your eyes?
Oh, wonderful.
You wear glasses?
Contacts.
Contact.
Yeah, they're a little red today, huh?
Yeah. Well, I ain't ready. I see you got them all squeezed up.
Oh. I do that a lot. This is good work.
Y'all should have come over here. There's some rich dirt up on that right there, pure black.
Danny,
Yeah.
what'd you do with that little bitty baking soda I had full of nails, that little can?
Oh, that's what I give that guy.
You did that for
Oh, you
Robert.
did? Well, it had the nails in it.
Y'all watch them bees. I
Those
ran
wood
about
bees.
500 up yonder
Oh, my
yesterday.
goodness. I'm so allergic to those things.
What's that? Where's that thing at I found?
What thing?
Look like a...
You stick it out there somewhere.
Yeah.
What is it? You
It's-
don't know.
I'm not real sure.
It's antique, ain't
I
it?
said, well, it could be a
Maybe
garlic
I
crusher
can.
or something.
Maybe I
No.
can identify it. These look like part tombstones here.
I don't know what I done with it. I found something yesterday at that old house. It looked like the thing they used to fix tires with, but...
This is Danny's workshop. It used to be the smokehouse.
That's where they hung meat up. We got them old hooks. Well, I got that ladder hanging on one, and that light, that bug
Bug
killer.
killer.
Let me,
Oh, he's finishing the door.
that's a new door that's going in the house. I went fishing yesterday and caught 22 bream.
Oh my word.
Uh,
And look at the nice.
I don't know what I done with it. I laid it somewhere. You see these posts right here? I don't know if the camera pick them up.
Yeah?
That's
Yeah.
the salt soaked in right there. That's right here.
Uh-huh.
That's salt right there soaked in that post from there to the floor. And there's one there that's soaked in right in that fish basket, that white. And I cut this one off because it was gone. Salt done ate it up. I replaced this one back.
Excuse me, Mother. Where's the ice house? Do you know where
Oh,
that
the ice house is
Probably,
long gone.
I tell you what, when I was a kid, I come home when they used to take them things and hook them up, and a guy to get them off an old truck,
Yeah.
big blocks, and we didn't have a refrigerator. An ice man would come around, and my mama would take and put them up. And the only washing machine they had back then was one of them ringer types.
You're not that old.
I'm 49 years old,
Well, I'm 67 and I'm supposed
You
to
might
be
have them,
that. You're too young for that.
and had a washing machine that had a little knob on the side. I used to run my hand in there, and my hand right there got caught one time. That thing just bouncing up and down. My mama, it was a roller. What it done, it squeezed the water out, and it went back into the tub. It was a tub washer. That thing went round and round.
Oh, dear.
Whatever happened to the ice? Where'd you put the ice if you didn't have a refrigerator?
Well, back then, so they had what they call an ice box. It more like that's all it was. It was a box. You put your ice up inside of it when you open the door.
Nice
And then when you want some ice, you take an ice pick and you go in there and pick it.
We
get
didn't
out
lock
what you
our
wanted.
doors. The iceman just went in and put it in.
That's great.
Don't you remember anything?
Well, I remember them bringing ice to my grandmother's house, I thought, one time. That's all I remember. But I thought they put it in the wall, but I guess they put it in the door.
Let me close it up. You still got that thing running?
Could be. Do you folks have any children?
No, I had a month when I was a kid and can't produce none out of 11 kids. I'm the only one out of 11.
Oh.
Stella, she can't have no kids. She's had herself fixed. She had cysts or something.
Well, at least you got yourself a sweet little dog.
Yeah, she will.
And each other, yeah.
She's real curious and all. Brother Smile, your dog over there taking pictures of you.
Mother, this is...
I told her anything you told her, she better check it out, because I'm the one that tells you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He don't want to admit it.
My wife's a good car. She just been in a. She been in a bad car wreck. She just can't do nothing no more.
Oh, I do. That's
She did get up.
How do you
If it
do,
were my
ma'am?
property, I would.
Thank you for your patience today while we were
We
with.
have to have a nice couple
Well,
of beers and
when you get 10 people to turn you down, and about 3 of them say they coming by to dig that little old hole right there and
tell
don't
you
never
to be
show
there.
up. One did come
Be
out
here
and looked
Tuesday,
at it,
be
said
here
he'd be in
Wednesday.
2 days, but never showed up. And I called one guy 4 or 5 times, just like making me feel like I was begging him.
Yeah, I give it to her too.
And I don't need no. I
I
don't.
said probably when we tear out
Go up
those
and
walls
see.
and stuff upstairs, there'll be a bunch more letters, maybe some photographs. Yeah, I'm sure.
Dot.
So the last 5 years is what the termites have took over from the bottom all the way up.
Oh my.
See how termites eat in? They eat in from the center and they eat it all up. They get tired on one, they jump on another.
Oh my. Look at that.
That's all within the last 5 years.
I told him we need to go get steel beams and put right through the center of these rooms.
See that door used to be up right yonder. When me and my wife went in that log room to tear that out, them letters was up down like, I call them old cigar box. That's what them letters was in. But if I know they was in there all that time, that room had leaked, and that's what messed up some of them old letters we had. And it just got wet and
Plus it caught
deteriorated.
on fire, we found out it's caught on fire several times.
It caught on fire right up over there on the front porch.
We even found some of the boots. We only found the one. They called them granny boots back then with the big heel, and they laced up the front and come up on your ankle.
Yeah.
I said, wish we found the other one. I could wear them.
They're cute little boots. Let's see you are.
If you want another bottle, go at the end, back in on the stump. I found another old bottle.
You found a lid to something too.
Huh?
I think my grandson took several, but I would love to.
On the back side?
See that big tree yonder?
Yeah.
Go out from that tree, there's a stump right there. You'll see a bottle sticking in.
Not that big one.
Nah, we got mulberry. The one you ate the mulberries off of.
Oh, I didn't get a pic. Dorothy's Catherine's going back to get an old bottle that he found here. And then I'm going to film her at the mulberry bush. They're hoping.
This was probably one of our great-grandfather T.J. Harrison's apothecary bottles. It's quite old. It'll be really neat when we get it cleaned up. The opening is really, really small, so it was some sort of tincture that needed careful measurement. It does have a screw top, which means that it came out of one of the northern states back in the 1800s because they had the manufacturing plants for the glass, New York City, Philadelphia, and such.
Is this the mulberry bush?
This is.
Oh. Well, let me.
Did you eat any?
Yeah, I did.
You have to get, oh gosh, you have to get the real dark ones. Looks like they came out and picked them. There were just a whole bunch.
Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush, so early in the morning.
Looking for the dark ones.
Get one and show me.
Well,
Even if it's not dark.
they must have come out and done some picking earlier. Everything left on the tree is still ripe. So.
Well, there's one.
It's got to be real dark. Like almost black, like a blackberry. Otherwise, they're just way sour.
Around the front that's beautiful that you could probably tell me what it is.
Where? Come on.
The store.
The new owners back in the 1800s, all kitchens were separate from the house because of the tremendous amount of heat. And that way the house didn't heat up and just the kitchen itself would get really hot. It was always stone kitchens, and they had windows and open areas in the roof to try to cool it off. But can you imagine baking bread, baking pies, making everything homemade in 98-degree temperature with 90% humidity? I can't. real fast.
More, I'm not covering your butt no more.
Makes a man feel good.
So it make you feel good, but it makes me feel lazy.
My wife's a good, hard woman. She works hard, she means well, does good work. She got a good brain on things. Should have been
Who dug that footer?
you and Jewel. I didn't dig it.
That's great.
All I done was just skim the top of it, and Stella and Jewel dug it.
Who'd the neighbors see digging that was talking about it?
I seen her digging it.
Y'all been
Only thing I dug is just from right there, the corner of that, them logs. They done the rest.
You guys are a good team.
Listen, Stella, I'm coming down to work on my aunt's house in October. If I have questions, can I come on out and ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
I worked for Carpenter 7 years, and my dad's retired construction, so I learned a lot from him. Yeah. Yeah, I started writing to a friend of his mother's, and she quit writing, and she said her arthritis was so bad she couldn't write.
Thank you.
Y'all have a safe trip. I'm allergic to stuff like that. It goes crazy.
My grandfather, well, my mother was swinging on her with them in the house and demanded that her father, who was then with pneumonia at the time, was dead of winter. They took their food and everything, and they tied him to a horse and drove it way, way down the road, and he died from an exposure. Maybe that story is in the stuff.
No, Carrot's time to eat your feet.
Just a minute. Just a minute.
Are you filming?
But you've been there?
Uh-uh.
I thought I could convince her to go with me if she was home.
You could have. She would have known. She likes to get out and do excursions every once in a while.
Oh, that scared you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Stand. Stand. Right on your stomach.
You gonna smile and laugh? Say Daddy. Can you say Daddy?
Daddy. Daddy. Daddy.
First time.
See?
Oh, look at the goose. She's cleaning herself.
Ooh.
God, I wish I had my shades.
This is a Civil War bridge. Or base, like one. Get in the picture, Mary.
Kentucky Horse Farm.
We finally made it.
Just the two of us.
Do. The rolling hills of Kentucky. We're going to try a horseback riding tour back into the woods or into the range and the mountains for about 50 minutes. This will be my second time on a horse, or third time on a horse, but only a second time because the other two times they bunked me off. Oh. Oh, honey, what else do you want?
Getting ready for the show, Carrie Ann.
Me too. I think so. Or maybe we can get some. This does feel good. Don't do it like
Ladies and gentlemen, the people of the Commonwealth of Kentucky are proud and pleased to welcome you to the world-renowned Kentucky Horse Park as we proudly present the Parade of Breeds. And this afternoon we have a very special opening just for you. 'Ladies and gentlemen, if you remember why, won't you join us in standing for the presentation of the flag of the United States of America? Strips of cloth alternating red and white. Each stripe represents one of the original colonies. In the left-hand corner, there was a field of blue with a star for each colony. Their breed horse is a Mustang. The wild horse is an unbred free-rolling horse found on land in the western part of our nation. These horses are descendants of animals released by or escaped from Spanish explorers, ranchers, miners, soldiers, or Native Americans.
Horses on the Kentucky Horse Farm. This is their joke.
Standing 36 and 34 inches tall and weighing about 200 pounds each, ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome the American miniature horses. This is Strawwalker and Starbuck. And they're aid number one. Strawwalker and Starbuck come to us from Pat and Bob Nagle Flowerfield Farm in Rockford, Tennessee. Miniature horses were first imported to the United States from Iceland, Greenland, South America, and England for use in the coal mines in the mid-1800s. They could pull little mini coal cars out of the mines where the larger horses could not go.
Horses can pull 3 times their weight or 1,000 pounds.
Flat-footed and look square in the eye. This only happens once a day, and the charge is only $3 per child.
She's just lost and she's waiting for the lunch one.
You see that, Carrie?
As you get ready to photograph this mare, wait for just a moment and watch her as she moves gracefully around the ring. You can see how the light changes on her coat. If you look closely, you'll see that her color is golden bay. This special golden color with its metallic sheen is a genetic trait of this breed of horse. Thanks to Dan Stewart and his family of Lexington, Kentucky, we are very proud to introduce a breed of which there are less than 100 horses in the United States today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Manica the Aqua Tiki. The Aqua Tiki is considered to be one of the most ancient and unique breeds of horse in the world. In Central Asia, bordering Iran and the Caspian Sea is an area known as Turkmenistan, a former republic of the Soviet Union. The southern portion of this land is an oasis, a land bordered by mountains on one side and a desert on the other side. Because of this area's isolation, its native tribesmen were able to take great pride in the purity and lineage of their horses. From the desert environment, these horses developed the ability to withstand extremes of temperatures. Numbers increase, the Aqua Tiki is being crossed with heavier horses and beginning to make quite an impact on the American sport horse registry.
What's coming next? That looks like a cowboy.
And the ability. Although the settlers called most horses raised by American Indians Cayuse ponies, the famed Cayuse Indian pony of the Northwest is a distinct breed that originated in the 1800s. It's thought that the Cayuse Indian pony began from Spanish horses brought into Mexico by the conquistadors. It is believed that French warm blood from Canada may have later influenced the breed, because the Cayuse Indian pony differs somewhat in both color and conformation from the original Spanish horses. Many paints, pintos, medicine hats, and the Appaloosa breed were very much influenced by the Cayuse Indian pony. In 1971, Jeff Edwards of Fort Worth, California, began the Wild Horse Research Center to preserve these remnants of American history. It is through the generosity of the Edwards family and the Lexall Florida Products Company of Marietta, Georgia, that we are able to show you the famed Cayuse Indian pony of the Great Northwest.
Here's my baby.
Developed in the Long Valley of Italy, France, the Percheron is considered to be a major draft horse breed with direct infusion of Arabian blood. Ladies and gentlemen, part of the actual working staff here at the Kentucky Horse Park, let's make welcome Mike the Percheron.
Percheron. That's what I saw when we were on the horseback ride.
Thousands of Percherons were imported to the United States in the last half of the 18th century. And importation continued until approximately World War II. The Percheron was a favorite with both the American farmers and the teamsters who moved freight on our busy streets. This breed was so popular that by 1930 a government census showed that there were 3 times as many registered Percherons as the other 4 draft breeds combined. Following World War II, the invention of the modern farm tractor nearly made the Percheron extinct. As America modernized, the Percherons all but forgotten. A handful of farmers, including many Amish, dedicated to the preservation of the breed, kept alive through the next 20 years, and by 1960 there was the re-emergence of the draft horse in America. Ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasing disposition, proud and alert, intelligent and a willing worker, this is Mike with her handler Shelley.
By Kate.
Thanks to Dan Stewart and his family of Lexington, Kentucky. We are now very pleased to introduce to you what is considered to be one of the most unique and unusual breed of horse in the United States today. Let's have a hearty welcome for Mel's lucky boy, the American Vascular Curly. The plains saw 3 wee mounts from the Mustang herds. Just shortly after very severe winter, the Cowboys noticed mingling with the Mustangs some strange horses with long mats and heavy curly hair. The Cowboys thought that there was something radically wrong with this breed of horse and they left them pretty much alone. The Plains Indians knew of the great curly horse. They highly prized them and kept them much as we do cattle today. The Indians knew that during the winter months, the hair of the entire Vascular Curly's body will grow from 3 to 6 inches in length and will generally lie in soft waves or ringlets. During the springtime, this hair sheds out very easily, and the Indians would save it and move it into blankets and clothing. The Indians also knew that Vascular Curly broodmares could give from 2 to 5 gallons of milk per day, which they made into highly priced cheese and butter, and also used as a drink. The Vascular Curly's temperament is very docile while being quite inquisitive. A very easy horse to break for family type use, and because of its size and conformation, there's not much it can't do. Anything else we've told you so far? So listen very closely, ladies and gentlemen, and look them over. The hair follicle of the Vascular Curly is round. It does not contain scales, therefore it will not hold dust and dander. So it has been found that people who have allergies to horse hair do not seem to be affected in the least by the hair of the American Vascular Curly. Now that's a unique breed of horse. Good size, excellent temperament, and hypoallergenic. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Vascular Curly. In 1419, Columbus discovered the New World. He found gold horses. On his second voyage back to Spain, a few years later, Columbus brought with him breeding stock. These he settled in the area we today call San Domingo. And through their cross and nature's own evolution, there came a brand new breed of horse that doesn't feel heat by the gate naturally, and is known to have the smoothest ride on the face of the earth. United States servicemen stationed around Puerto Rico in the 1940s got to ride this beautiful breed of horse. And when they came back to the United States, they refused to give up the luxury and the comfortable ride you see here today. So they brought in the breeding stock and thus began the American Paso Fino. On loan to the Kentucky Horse Farm from Jacqueline Garinella, Windsong Farm, Hopkins, Minnesota, helping them welcome Kennedy of Colonial Windsong, the American Paso Fino. As a fold of its mother's side, the very first walkway steps are generally left high, followed by left front, right high, followed by left front. These horses do this unique 4-beat battle gait through 3 variations of speed, called the Fino, the Corto, and Largo. What you're seeing here today is called the Fino, which is the classic show ring gait. The forward speed is slow, with very rapid, short steps, while the horse remains fully balanced and collected. Those of you who know a lot about Pasos realize that Poema is not as tall as most of his equine cousins. The Paso generally stands 14.2 hands tall. Poema is quite a bit shorter than that. Some unknown reason was very little to eat or drink. He was at the quarantine station. The veterinarian told his brand new family Poema did thrive. His new family nourished him, and he became a beautiful black stallion, slightly smaller in size, but a multi-champion in bad form, which means beautiful on the long lines, and under saddle in the classic Fino. If you reverse the breed registry name and place it in English, you will find that you have Fino Paso, or fine step. Poema's name, of course, means poem, or poetry. Ladies and gentlemen, watch how he moves. Place the 2 names together, and we'll sure that you will notice that you're watching pure poetry in motion from an almost 500-year-old breed horse, known as the American Paso Fino. Ladies and gentlemen, Poema of Windsong. Mel's lucky boy, the American Vascular Curly. America, Tiki. How do you see the pony? Teton. Poema of Windsong, the American Paso Fino. Bob the Mustang. And in just a moment, we'll ask you to reverse so those of you on the other side can get a shot also. But at this time, we'd also like to remind you that the Breed's Market.
Bigger than me.
About 5 feet, 6 feet.
Almost 6 feet.
5 feet, 5.5 feet. That's the horse that I was riding this morning. This is a carousel in the middle of the horse park. They have horse races like all around the top of it. Beautiful green and white.
You coming?
Get him to look this way. There we go. He's a cutie. He's a colt. Bye, little pony. Bye, little horsey. They have fans in here for the horses. This one's called Bo. This is Bullock.
He is.
Trolley?
They're going back on at 3 o'clock. They go from 3 to 4 every day, too.
How much does he weigh?
He's about 1,600 pounds now. There. He's out of a Bertrand draft horse mare by Mammoth Jack. He probably weighs 15 and a half, 1,600 pounds.
Well, thank you.
What's the breed of this horse? Percheron. And they're relative to the fight wheel?
No, these are French breed. The Cosmos are Scotland. All of the draft is breed. Horseback man.
Watch out!
Shiny. He's so shiny.
Look at him.
Hey, look how much bigger than me he is.
Awesome. He's completely awesome.
One very big horse.
We can ask him to let us off at the Arabian Horse Show.
Yeah, we could do that. If it, you might be able to walk it faster than they can drive it.
You want to ride first, or you want to go there first?
I want to go there first. Horse hanging on the outside.
Carrie's house.
Love these Kentucky birds. Wish we could find a cardinal.
of these guys.
This one. That's this one that won the
Kentucky State Derby.
And his name is Bo. Go!
Evening session starts. No exceptions. Entries for tomorrow morning should be made in the show office this evening. Entries for tomorrow morning session should be made in the office before you leave tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some lunch in a minute.
Could you tell me what time it is?
2:45.
Thank you.
Place winners over here. These guys are gonna go in. Awesome. I missed that one.
Okay.
Reverse, please. Reverse, please. Continue to walk. And gallop, please. And gallop. Costume open. In first place, entry number 376, The Rocketeer. Kim Berkeley, riding an entry of Alicia Scott.
Why did you elect to mayor?
First place.
Second place to entry number 689, Supreme Decision. Paul Hyman, riding Roll Call, and Joyce Hyman, Valley Farm.
Show up for 2,000 backwards.
Third place to entry number 594, Coca-Cola Kid. Pepper Profit riding for Benita Profit.
That is the pain.
in the wrestling riding with Trisha Pierce.
Have you ridden yet?
Excuse me?
Have you ridden yet?
I'm going in the next class.
All right, thank you.
Second horse is on pattern in class 110. Second horse is on pattern in class 110. So, class 111, half Arabian Country Pleasure Amateur Owner to Ride Championship. Class before you is about half complete. So you need to be making your final preparations and please check in.
And 112 goes in when you get on.
This is the second call for class 161. Second call for class 161. You should be preparing. Class 160 will be going in shortly. Class 162. This is your second call. Second call for class saddle seat equitation 14 to 17.
What did he tell you?
606, are you going in this next class floor? Class 162, saddle seat equitation, this is your second call. And class 163, this is your first call for walk trot pleasure, JTR 7 to 10. This is your first call, class 163.
I'm going to get this horse closed up. You should get a picture, Mary. I'll zero in on it.
Is this what extras you were showing?
No, it's in.
No, in there. Oh, in there? They're just warming up out here? Is there a show going on now?
Here, hold this for a half second. Wouldn't mind.
We have the results of class number 111, the half Arabian Anglo-Arabian Country Pleasure Adult Amateur Owner to Ride Championship. The 1996 champion, Congratulations to entry number 94, H.H. Mystify. Walter Baker, Riley, Sean Deborah, and Justin Baker.
Which one? Her?
They're 94.
She's the win?
Champion, entry number 206, Third place to entry number 215, Oh My Gosh, on the John. Fourth place to entry number 310, Saturday Night Live, Margaret O'Connor is the opening writer. Fifth place to entry number 500, EWI Society, on the John Body of the American. Sixth place to entry number 600, Sixth Part of Fame. And in seventh place, entry number 407, for Sharon Marcon. Congratulations, visitors. And once again, the winner of house number 111 is the champion, H.H. Mystify and Deborah Baker.
She can't film going this fast.
Yes, she can. All right, and Carrie, they're coming on your side.
Fences are coming in.
Like right now.
Whoops. There they go. Civil War fences where you can see the people shoot. The holes, the cannonballs hit the fence.
Look.
One of the horse trainers was riding along talking to us about the fences. She says there's not a stick of mortar in there. All they did was stack rocks.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
These flowers are remnants and leftovers from the reunion that was last Sunday. And there were so many left that dozens of people there were able to take some of them home.
Okay. And it's a funeral basket that's 150 years old that you see here on the table.
The funeral baskets were given to Carrie, Connie, and Mary by Still and Danny, who own the home now. They aren't sure whose graves that they came off of, but they figured they're about 150 years old. They have dug up family tombstones on the grounds, but they can't read who was buried there. So there was a generation of people buried there prior to our grandparents owning that home in College Hill.
Okay.
And this is one of the baskets that dear Dottie gets to carry on her arm all the way home to Salt Lake and then ship it from Salt Lake to Portland.
And the lady in here is your cousin?
Now, we have a guest around the dinner table tonight, Lenny Lefko. one of my girls, her Ravenna. In the Lefko family, Anita was born first, and then Billy, and then Doe, and then Linda, and then Nancy. And Linda has driven over to see us on our last night here.
And they're your friends? They're your friends or your relatives?
Well, and Dean's children, who knows? They may end up in the long run being relatives because of some German connections we've made with genealogy. But right now, neighbors grew up with them, helped raise Linda, helped raise Doe.
Okay, and we met Doe. Like the day we went down Carrie's funeral street where you were.
Several times every
Yeah.
time you've been here. You can come on in and just
like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8
keep
people out trying to get in the place this morning.
So my friend said they
Yes, but go over and give her a hug, Mother.
I've already given her a hug.
But I don't have it on tape.
She doesn't want to.
at the
She
beginning.
doesn't want to do this picture without me giving you another hug.
I just love
And you're Linda. Linda Lefko.
I'm Linda.
Now, y'all gonna have a camcorder thing, but you ain't gonna have no photographs? You know how I am about photographs.
Oh, yes.
You don't like photographs?
No, you saw one, you haven't turned in a while.
Hey, boy.
So fun.
Hey, Don.
Hi, Shirley.
There's Shirley. Oh, Lord, you gonna run her? Look at this.
I was so shocked that you just went.
Oh, there's Shirley.
You got some more, I wanted to.
Oh. How are you doing?
All right, how are you doing? How you feeling these days? Behaving yourself? No. Smoking. I saw that. That's a no-no.
Don't need to be, does
No, he doesn't.
Who's that?
Have you ever met his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, surely.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
Sure, she must know.
Yeah.
She's from like back road.
Further.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Morgan.
Back road.
Doesn't think much of them, does she?
Morgan. Morgan.
Wonderful.
Good, good. I finally got a smile from you.
School of Rotten. Great.
Street, Salt Lake City, Utah, 84111. Because I wrote it since I was like 6 years old.
And
Wow.
I have every word you never listened to.
Just like that, I can
Every
read.
card she does.
Ship.
Every card,
Goes
every
step with pack and shit.
Rum cake, right?
Best ever rum cake.
What's her phone number?
Ingredients: 1 teaspoon sugar, 1 cup dried fruit, 1 teaspoon soda, 2 large eggs, lemon juice. Not doesn't say how much. 1 or 2 quarts rolled brown sugar, 1 cup butter, baking powder, and nuts.
I only wrote it 1,000
Before starting, sample the rum to check its quality. Now proceed by selecting a large mixing bowl instead of measuring cups. Check the rum again because it must be just right. To be sure the rum is of proper quality, pour 1 level cup of rum into a glass and drink it as fast as you can. Repeat the procedure. Sounds like winter to me. With the electric mixer, beat 1 cup of butter in a large fluffy bowl. Add 1 teaspoon of sugar and beat again. Meanwhile, make sure the rum is still all right and try another cup. Open second quart if necessary. Add legs, 2 cups dry druit, and beat till high. If druit gets stuck in beaters, pry loose with a drew scriber. Sample the rum for tonsillicity. Next, shift 3 cups pepper or salt, really doesn't matter. Sample rum. Sift 1/2 pint lemon juice. Fold in chopped butter and strained nuts. Add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and whatever color sugar you can find. Mix well. Sample the last cup of rum. Grease oven. Turn cake pan to 350 degrees. Pour message above and ache. Check the bottle of rum and load it again. When I have similar to that.
Bye-bye. I don't know about that.
go to the front.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Do what?
Let's walk around.
But I never heard anybody say anything bad against Mother or Daddy, either one.
Well, I was Margaret Ann's daughter, Dottie Kay. You know, she was such a sweet gal, and I don't know if this means anything to you or not, but one night I had a vision.
Talking about her showing her bottom thing, but I do remember the two of them used to be out in the yard all the time in their bathing suits and hose. Because I remember going up there one time with them.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, I was real little, so you know, a lot of this stuff I don't remember. A lot of what I know has just been told by other
There's
people.
something about Elm Street. It's magical.
It's still home.
Peaceful, it's calming,
I spend a lot of time on the porch
23
around
years I
there.
haven't been back here, and we pulled on Elm Street, and I went, that's Mom's house. I mean, I just knew.
It's great.
Yeah, but I've got a picture of you, I think, stretched out on the couch there, and that one picture, she looks just like you did the last time I saw you.
Really?
My family said, and my sister was mentioning it in Middletown the other day, and just that Mr. Behrman would come home drinking, that I guess he got kind of mean, and Ms. Behrman would come down, knock on the door, come around and knock on Mother and Daddy's bedroom window, and Dad would get up there and talk to him, try and get him calmed down, and Ms. Behrman, Margaret Ann, and Buster just had Mother fix them a bed, and they stayed at the house.
So you guys are just good friends then, huh?
Yeah.
Now, were you the one that she used to always dress and comb her hair?
No, that was my older sister.
Okay, we saw her the other day. Then.
She's the one that lives in the home place.
Oh, okay.
She's the one that lives in the home
So
place.
that's when she used to play. It was her baby doll.
Yeah. That's in the house where we were born and raised.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You were born and raised?
The only ones that were born in the hospital were our oldest sister, Anita, and the youngest sister, Nancy. The rest of us the other three were born right there at the house.
And whose house was it across the street from you?
At St. Clara's. There were two houses across the street, one directly across from us was the Blunt, St. Clara and Uncle Linville. That was one of Mother's oldest sister who was living at the time. And then the brick house on the corner was another one of Mother's sisters. That was Aunt Daisy. And she was married to a man named John Lutz. Everybody called him Biz.
Oh, and who was the one that shot my dad?
It seems to me like the name was Slim Phillips.
Slim Phillips.
You have to ask your mother to see if that name sounds familiar to her.
Okay. Yeah, she showed me the church where he had been shot. In front of
near
the
the
church.
Methodist church.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And the younger sister lives across the street from there.
Did they take him away, or do you know?
I don't remember. It seemed like he was sentenced to prison or something.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh,
I think they eventually got him.
Oh, they eventually got him, huh?
I think so. Okay. But you have to ask your mother sometime if that's not the name.
You know, my dad almost died that night.
Yeah.
He told me that his dad had come to him and said, Gordy, it's not your time. His dad and his grandpa came to him in a dream or something and said, Gordy, it's not your time. And he says that was the only one that ever called him Gordy. And he got better the next day.
I remember he got shot in the chest.
Five bullets.
I don't remember how many.
They emptied the gun into him. So it's a bit amazing.
That's all I know.
Okay. Well, do you want to say anything to Mother as a surprise?
Your mother will love seeing this on tape. Just love seeing it on tape. My older sister and brother would be the ones that would really remember what happened, because I don't think I was even around at that time.
Oh. Give us your phone number while I got it on tape.
Area code 513-423-5368.
Okay. What is it again? Slowly.
513-423-5368.
Okay, we got it now. Thank you very much. Hi, Billy. Here for the trip home. She's given her a new highlight, new color. Actually, it's not new. It's what she used to have before. She's just giving it back to her again. And she works. She works in a little shop. What's your shop called?
Beauty Clinique.
Beauty Clinique. And she has about 45, 55 customers, you say?
Oh God, I probably did that many today.
Oh my.
No, you did.
No, probably not that many today, but I'm sure I've done that many this week. Because when I moved out there from Penny's, we sent out 600 cards. I'm moving cards.
That's
Great. Mother? Okay.
What color is
She saw me at
the
the
better?
Reunion and said, my aunt can't go like that. I'll go do something for her.
Well, I started thinking to myself, I wonder if she'd let me put some color on her bed. Okay, you go and check it out.
Okay.
Tell me what you think.
I will do it.
Excuse me?
Hi, Rob. You want to say any closing words? This is the last before I put it away. Want to tell us anything before we leave?
That.
Here's the eastern sky over Kentucky. And the haze that you see is the blue haze that they talk about. Smoke that you see is Rebecca's dark cigarette.
It's 5 after 6 in the morning. It's the last morning that Carrie Ann and Mary and Margaret Ann and Dot are in Richmond, Kentucky. I remember when I came here in 1972 with Mother, this freeway had not been constructed. And we came back this time, and to our great dismay and shock, they had put this horrible I-75 north and south in. Well, luckily, the whole backyard is covered with these deciduous trees. And in the summertime, I'm sure the noise is 2 to 3 times less than it is in the winter. Her backyard is so magnificent. It's got everything from mulberry, which is a berry-producing tree, to volunteer black walnuts. Everywhere I look, there are volunteer black walnuts. She has these wonderful southern white oaks and dogwoods, a couple of species of pine. I've noticed that she's got mountain ash growing down in this big clump of ecosystem in her backyard. It's so wonderful. She also has poison ivy growing down there, and you've got to be real careful and be clear about the identification before you go tromping down through this little woods area.
The mist over the top of the houses and the trees is caused because of the humidity in the ground. Comes with colors. This is Geneva's area. mist rising from the pond. These are some beautiful white flowers. They look like little snowflakes growing alongside of the road. A little stream, the cow in the distance.
I'm not sure what little birds these are. Sparrows, I would imagine. No, he hasn't heard the story.
I heard the punchline part.
You did?
Part of it.
I'm done
Part
with
of
it
it.
then. No, sorry. But oh God, and he had Mary and I out in the yard. Robert, my 48-year-old male cousin that looks like Paul, and Mary and I, and we were looking out the back property, and Mary and I just kept looking at each other like this because he'd walk in front of us and we'd see this huge Virgin River gorge in front of us. I mean, it was big enough you could have tunneled a driveway through it. And he's, dang! Yeah, and every 2 seconds he'd go whack, and this black dip would just go flying. And well, which was pretty easy for him because he only had 3 teeth that went this way.
So it directed it the right direction.
And it was all spittle all over his chin and stuff.
Oh, that is the perfect hillbilly.
But I was so interested in what he was saying because he was pointing at his going, well, this is where the old apple used to be. And I went, gosh, I guess this is going to be the best growing place on the property, huh? And he goes, yeah, maybe. He didn't get my humor, you know. And then he took us over someplace else, and I started sinking in mud about this deep. And I was like, uh-oh. And he goes, yeah, I just took out the hog sty that was here.
I knew he was going to say that. You knew the pigs were there first.
And then he grabs this tree and he goes, you ever seen a mulberry? And I went, well, no, in fact, I haven't. He goes, well, grab yourself a couple of those things and just put it between your teeth and peel it like a piece of corn. Well, okay. So I reached up and I was grabbing them, pulling them like a piece of corn. These are good. And he's just standing there grinning. Yep, they're my mulberries, all right.
He didn't say they were poisonous or anything after that.
Well, he just said he looked for little bugs in there.
Oh, I looked for the bugs and I was picking them off myself. They were covered with little green bugs.
Mother.
But the great thing about it is I didn't tell him, Carrie, you're married.
Mother. Mother. Ask Mary to go over
Oh,
there.
you! I knew you'd be in trouble on this trip. I just sensed it.
Quiet. Okay, so anyway, we're walking around all this property, and he's showing us this. It's my great-grandmother Eliza McKinney-Benner's home, okay? I'm looking at logs that are like 200-year-old southern white oak. They were hand-formed. This house, like the back foundation,
I have not put this phone down.
the bottom came out and the top went in. It was just like, I don't know how the thing was literally standing. And he's explaining all of these construction procedures to Bob. Bob doesn't know a damn thing about construction, but I'm like looking at this guy in the eye, trying to catch his eye. I want him to talk to me about the construction. I'm so interested. No, he starts talking about one technical thing, and he turns and talks to Bob because he's the man.
That's right.
He's the man.
Yeah.
So I decided, well, okay, this is just swell. So we walk around the front of the house, and after about an hour and a half of looking through the house and up in the attic and looking at everything, we're standing out front, and I just can't stand it anymore. Okay, I just can't stand it. So I walked up to him, and I said, you know, my father's a construction guy, and he's been involved in construction his whole life. And I follow him around like a dog, and he's taught me everything I know, and I've done a whole lot of work on my own home. You know, I really understand what you've been doing here. And he kind of backs off from me, you know, a little bit. And he's looking at me like this, and he goes, your husband don't do this for you?
Your husband?
Your husband? Your husband don't do this for you? And I went, I don't have a husband. Well, he backs off even further. He stares at me for a minute. He stares at me for a minute and he goes, what's wrong with those boys up there in Oregon? I said, well, you know, it's my choice. You know, there's just no husband. And so I stuck my hand up to shake his hand and I said, gosh, thanks for your hospitality. You know, it's really been great. I think you're doing an incredible job with this home. You know, good luck. And I was shaking his hand, you know. And I guess I was shaking it a little bit too firmly. And he looked right at me in the eye and he goes, you sure you ain't lying?
Did you go like this?
No.
Lean back a little?
Here, I was shaking this guy's hand. He looks at me, and I mean, these 3 teeth going this way, spittle, this big gut, and he goes, you sure you ain't lying? And I just backed up, and I went, do I look like a man? And then he pauses, and he looks me up and down, elevator eyes, and he goes, no, ma'am.
Now, tell me something. Where did it come up with that? Do they get National Enquirer there?
I don't.
I want you to check and see next time
What
you go
about
back.
what about sending him mail from the construction worker with kids?
Oh yeah, and then my little second cousin Robert's son, we're riding home in the car, and he goes, you know, Dot, if I were you, I'd send this boy a letter and sign it. Love, the construction worker with tits from Oregon.
Do it.
This kid's 17 years old. You know, Dot, well, I think we're all just roaring.
This is Turkey.
That's a turkey guy.
Turkey guy.
Turkey kid.
Well, see, at the beginning.
Oh, these kids fell in love with him. I tell you, he's a good boy.
At the beginning of the whole experience with this man, I literally was looking at his mouth trying to understand what he was saying because I didn't understand his dialect.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I didn't. It was like
I don't know what part of Georgia.
It was like I was an alien in a strange world or something. So I kept looking at Robert to translate, and he would. But here, I'm getting a translation from a deep backwoods Kentucky boy that was grown and raised in Alabama that's trying to translate for this Georgia boy. And it was just like, well, okay, I think they're talking about the inside wall. Okay, well, let's see, I think they're talking about the propane tank.
Oh, you guys.
I think there may have been a side porch on this place that they took off and replaced on the burnt down tar barn. It was just,
Oh, man.
We got to taste mulberries.
I heard.
Mulberry juice.
Well, we went down in the basement because of another owner that had it put in a basement, you know, narrow at one end and wider at the other end. The house has never been, you know, level or anything.
oh, it's so untrue. It is, you told me once,
It's
now,
some
Dottie,
shells in it.
a house is never plumb. A house is never square. Well, I've always believed you and gone with that. But this house is like 2.5 feet off square.
You stand on the top of the stairwell, and if you stand straight, you're falling forward because the stairwell is falling.